Bore da pawb. Hello everybody. Well, what can I say? I don't really want to complain. I don't want to feel low and despondent because I know that some of you live in really hot, dry places and, you're quite envious of the rain. But then I know some of you are just as fed up as I am. But that opening sequence was for all of you guys that are in hot, dry places. And I do feel for you as well, because hot and dry is just as destructive, maybe more so on wildlife than cold and wet. And I wanted to welcome my new subscribers. It's lovely that people still keep finding my channel and following me. And that's great because it gets the message out there, and maybe more people will become a bit wilder in their gardens and can help wildlife. So if you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, then please do so. Please join me on my journey, wilding my garden. I'd love to have your company. And the thing is that there really isn't anything for me to do in the garden at the moment. It's just sort of, being itself and being a home for wildlife. And if it wasn't raining, I could enjoy being out here with it, but it is a bit wet at the moment. So I thought I would sort of take this opportunity really to explain a little bit about how come I ended up doing this. I live on the edge of a Banau Brycheiniog that used to be called the Brecon Beacons. It's a national park. It's an area of outstanding natural beauty. And it's supposed to be an area where habitats and wildlife are conserved. So you would think that there would be a lot of wildlife there, but there isn't. It's just a green wasteland, really. And the reason for that is because there are hundreds and thousands of sheep. And I think it was about this time last year that I'd been for a walk in Banau Brycheiniog. There's a walk that I do that's really very easy. And you start off high up, so it gives you that feeling of being up in the mountains without the hard slog of actually getting there. So it's a bit of a cheat, really. But I think, if when you're old and not very steady on your feet, I think you're allowed to cheat. So it was about this time last year I'd been on this walk, and I didn't hear a single bird sing, and I didn't really see many birds. There are no flowers, there were no insects apart from maybe the odd bee on the odd thistle, because sheep don't eat thistles. And I was just sort of sitting up there imagining what it would be like if it was rewilded, how completely different it would be. And then when I got home to my garden, well, you know what my garden's like. It's full of flowers and lots of birds and lots of insects and bees. Not many butterflies, but that's another story. And I thought, well, I haven't got pots of money to buy tracts of land to rewild, and I'm not a farmer, so I haven't got a farm to rewild, and I haven't got ancestral acres like the guys at NEP to rewild, but I do have a garden. So I thought, well, I would wild my garden. And so that's what I've been doing, and I've been sharing it on YouTube with all you guys. But the good news about the place that started all this is that the sheep have gone. Yes, the farmer's lease ended at the end of March, and so since the beginning of April there have been no sheep there, and the change is really quite remarkable. So as there's not really much going on in the garden and I don't have much to show you, I wondered if you'd like to come on a trip out with me. It's not probably the best day to go on a trip out into the Welsh uplands because it's wet, but this is how it is in Wales, which is why you should never go out without your waterproof. I'm here in the Welsh uplands, and I hope you can hear me okay. It is quite breezy. It's also very cloudy. You can't see Van Brycheiniog at all. He's completely covered in cloud. And Cribbarth over there has his head in the clouds. That's the little mountain behind my house. And then down there is the Swansea Valley. There's some more weather coming up. You can see the rain clouds. And I'm surrounded by this sort of green, empty, bleak-looking moorland. And I used to love this. I used to love the sort of wildness of it and the emptiness, the solitude. But I'm seeing it very differently now. A lot of people think this is wilderness. This is sort of the only wilderness that's left really in the UK, but it's not at all. This is all man-made. Where I'm standing is actually post-industrial because I'm standing on a tramway that goes up to a quarry at the top there. But all this green, empty, rolling moorland is all made by sheep. So there's one thing that you will see here that you won't normally see in the Welsh uplands, and there is one thing, well, there's a lot of things that you would normally see on the Welsh uplands that you won't see here. And yes, I just have to move a bit to explain that. Okay, so this is what you won't see on the Welsh uplands very much. And that is all, well, you won't see my rucksack, but you won't see all these lovely flowers. There's wild thyme here, and bird's foot trefoil, and self-heal, and a little starry white flower. His name escapes me just for the minute, but I'll look it up for you. There's lots of these yellow jobs that have gone over, hawkweed or hawkbit or something. There's the buds of knapweed here that haven't come out yet. You can see how far everything is behind up here. The knapweed is well out down in the bottom of the valley. There's yarrow, the wild achillea, this lady's bedstraw. There's an awful lot of these guys. And it all forms this sort of Persian carpet of flowers. Just at the side of the tramway. And the reason why I'm just so totally enchanted by this ground here, why I have to keep coming and looking at it, it's like I can't believe it, it's because for the 6 years that I've lived here, these flowers have never flowered. This has just been all green, all nibbled to a bowling green shortness by sheep. These blue bellflowers are harebells. They're a wild campanula. They've never flowered here before. None of this has ever flowered. It's just been hiding in the ground, ready to be, released. And all it needed was for them to remove the sheep. So here I am at the top, and I think I'm up in the clouds now. There's the quarry over there in that murk. Gosh, it's a real land of myths and mists and wizards and dragons, isn't it, today? Very atmospheric. But the flowers are here. Flowers flowering when no flowers flowered before. And now you can see that what I've just walked through is a national nature reserve. Ogolfan and thee. It's the cave of the Black Spring. And why would you do that? Why would you designate somewhere a national nature reserve and then rent it out to a farmer to graze his sheep? I just don't understand. But the sheep have gone, thank goodness. And now I'm really looking forward to watching it recover. But the other side of the fence there, the sheep are still grazing. So I'll just go over and show you. So this is what the ground at the side of the tramway looks like on this side of the fence. Just green, lots of shreds of sheep wool, all nibbled. And then fields and fields of Millennia, devoid of life, because even the sheep don't go in there. The sheep don't like it. But they've eaten everything else, so the Millennia has taken over. That's purple moorgrass. And if you look very carefully, if you search, you can find little thyme flowers in amongst the sheep droppings. You can find the little white flowers, whose name escapes me. And there's daisies here and clover. And there's also achillea here. So it's all here, all ready to grow and flower. And what's preventing it are the sheep. I've come back down out of the clouds. You can see the cloud line over there. And the clouds moving up the valley. I'm just going to sit here and drink a cup of coffee and enjoy the flowers. There's not many insects flowering today, but last week or the week before, wherever I was standing, if I looked down, I could see at least 2 bees. And I thought, you know, this time last year, I'd have been lucky if I'd seen 2 bees on the whole walk through the reserve. So I thought I'd walk all the way down the tram line from the top to the bottom, which is just over the brow of the hill down there. It can't be more than a mile, and I counted 95 bees. And I wasn't even looking, I was just walking slowly, counting them as I went. So that's 95 bees where there would have been, what, half a dozen. I've been so looking forward to the sheep going from this reserve and to seeing it begin to recover. And being up here now makes my heart happy, because I've seen what nature can do if she's just given the chance. I've seen how much this place has recovered just in 4 months, so imagine in 4 years. I just hope I'm able to see it. Here I am back home safe and sound. So if you've got this far in the video, thanks for coming with me, thanks for joining me, thanks for watching the video. Yes, and the weather is still very wet, so if you haven't had enough Welsh rain for the day, I'll just finish off with some more for you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye! Hwyl fawr!